Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. It's a bit crowded around here, as you can probably see. And we've got my young protege, Mr. Kentucky Fudge, is just creeping in at the edge of the frame over there. Doesn't want to be left out now, does he? Yeah, so, yes, it's another Halloween video. Oh, God. You guys know that in the past I've banged on about other people whose channels just seem to be nothing but Michael Myers and Halloween and oh God, that's fine. You know, I don't know why I've ever banged on about it. If that's your thing, that's your thing. All well and good. All good here. But I love Halloween. I love the time of year. I love Michael Myers. I love the Halloween movies. Well, I love some of them more than others. As we all do. But this video is, well, I've been asked so many times now to rank, my order of Halloween movies. For years now I've been asked to do this. But we've had 3 new movies now. So, I mean, it's probably better to have waited till Halloween Ends came out to try and put some kind of list together. Now, I got asked again recently, and I thought, oh, yeah, I'll do it. Because a lot of YouTubers seem to want to do this, ranking the James Bond movies, ranking the Jaws movies, the Friday the 13th movies, this, that, and the other movies, ranking this, ranking, a whole lot of ranking going on. What a bunch of rankers they are. And I was in the pub the other night, no surprises there, and we were talking about Halloween Ends, because obviously everyone knows I'm into these movies. I was wearing a Halloween t-shirt as well, so it kind of sparked conversation. And, have you seen Halloween Ends yet? And, we talked about that, and I said, I've been asked to do to rank all the Halloween movies in my order of preference. So I got asked, oh, go on then, what are they? So of course that prompted, right, I got my phone out. Not in the old days, you get like a pen, you get a pen from behind the bar and you tear off part of the beer mat and you write a girl's phone number down or a boy's phone number. I know it. Hey, who am I to judge? And you write your little list down or whatever, but then get your phone out and you go in your little notepad thing or whatever you call it on your particular phone. So I began to work at this, and it killed the entire conversation. There was 3 of us sitting there as well, and they were going like, "Well, I haven't seen them all. I think I prefer." And they start mentioning obvious Friday the 13th movies or Freddy movies, and I'm going like, "No, that's not Michael Myers." And they're going, "I think you'll find it is," and I'm going, "I think you'll find it isn't." I do know what I'm talking about. Oh, don't you hate that when you're the movie guy in your little group and someone tries to tell you, nope, so and so was in this, it wasn't him, and you go, look, I know, but the thing is, now you've got your phone, you've got access to all the details, you know you're right, and then you just Google it, you show them, and they go, oh, well, yes, I'll give you that one. I'm right. So anyway, this killed off the entire conversation. And like all of a sudden, need more drinks. Come on now. So I wrote my little list and I've come back and written it down. And the thing about lists like this, they are entirely subjective, of course. Whatever my top movies are, they're not going to be yours. My reasons will be valid. Your reasons will be valid for what you think. No one's right, no one's wrong. It's as simple as that. So, it's all... I think it's a completely ridiculous and redundant thing to do, to rank movies like this. But, and here's the good point about it, he says, pointing. We get to talk about the movies. It's just another excuse to talk about the movies. Hey, and why the hell not? I mean, all these guys didn't just get dressed up for nothing, did they? So, anyway, I'll just have a quick swig of this. And yes, we're playing John Carpenter and Alan Howarth's fantastic score for Halloween 2 again. You guys know that when I do videos about Halloween, even the newer ones, I tend to play this because this is my favourite of all the Halloween scores. I've said before many, many times now that it's perfected. All the themes that Carpenter come up with for Halloween, played mainly on the piano, but with electronic embellishments and that. They were perfected with this. It says in a hospital in Halloween 2, the glistening sort of clinical sound to this, to the old analog synthesizers that he and Alan Howard were using. It sounds glorious. It's literally scintillating. It's scalpel sharp. There you are. You see what I did there? Cheers, y'all. And all the themes from the original movie are all present and correct in this. Anyway, right, so I come back, got my phone out and copied my little list down. And to be honest, just before doing this video, I looked at the list and I thought, that's not the right order. And isn't that the thing about this? You're going to put these films down in whatever mood you're in at that particular time. That's my favourite. Then there's this, then there's this. And then you swap and you change. And nope, you settle on it. That's definitive. But then you come back and you look at it again. You go, oh, you know what? Thinking about it now, but I don't know. Who cares? Let's just go through the movies. Look, so one thing is beyond question. And that is the best out of all the Halloween movies is the original, 1978. Well, big shock surprise there. Look at them, they're all horrified. What? Of course it is. Carpenter's indie classic, The Babysitter Killer. Babysitter Murder is what it was going to be called initially. Uniquely simple premise. Babysitters are going to get picked off one by one by a serial killer. Woo. Why don't we set it on Halloween? Ooh. Opens up the door to a lot of things, does it not? Suddenly you've got all this paraphernalia, you've got jack-o'-lanterns, you've got the atmosphere of Halloween, the spooks, the traditions. Ooh, it brings everything in. And he can't be killed. He keeps getting up again. Stabbed in the neck, stabbed in the eye, stabbed in the gut, shot 6 times, falls off a balcony. Good God almighty. This guy's on super steroids. Should be on the football team. Carpenter's film is an absolute masterpiece. He did not know it at the time that he was creating a cult classic movie, which would be emulated and copied and sequelized ad infinitum. He did not know that. And the beauty of it is the mystique and the mystery around Michael Myers. It's an open and shut story. He commits a murder as a young kid, gets incarcerated, escapes, goes back to his hometown and recommences murderizing. And you're populated by great characters. All the high school girls, Laurie, Linda, Annie, they're great. Carpenter gets great performances and they're very charismatic. You do feel for these people. Carpenter's initial movie opened up the stalk and slash thing for the mainstream. Don't forget, you'd had stalk and slash in Giallo and from Italy, and you had Mexican and French movies and British movies which had sort of murders and a whodunit around it since the 60s. So, you know, it wasn't unique, but what was unique was the style and the body count and the masked killer, who you saw the killer and you actually saw a lot of it through his point of view sort of thing. The stalk and the slash, which opened up the floodgates to a gazillion copycats. Most of which are trash, but many of which are absolutely great as well. And they're all, you know, sort of variations on the same pattern. But Carpenter's remains at the top of that pyramid because of the style, the music, the directorial verve, the acting, the camera work, Dean Cundy's cinematography, you know, the Panaglide. Oh my God, Steadicam, just. You'd not seen anything like that before. The 2351 anamorphic frame, it just filled your vision, your widescreen vision, which we all have, unless you're Snake Plissken, who does suffer in that department. You know, there's stuff happening all around, and you still love the blurred periphery when you focus on the bits in between, you know, and the things in the background. Usually Michael Myers just appearing somewhere behind a tree, behind a washing line, in the window of the doorway of a laundry. It's magnificent. The timing is perfect. The jolts, the shocks, Donald Pleasance, Dr. Sam Loomis, the escape, you know, and his babbling of like, you know, the evil is gone. He's gone from here. The evil is gone. You know, death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You know. There's something about a guy like that clearly knows what he's talking about, but he's acting in a very deranged fashion. Outwardly, you're going to be going like, oh, look, just shut up, man. Just calm down. Back off. Just back off. I'm the law in town here. I'll weigh it up when I see what begins to happen. In the meantime, just calm down and shut the fuck up. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, he really is genuinely concerned. He's carrying a gun. I've got a permit. He shows the permit up, but you just know he's not wrong about this. There's somewhere deep down inside, even all the the dissenters, the doubting Thomases, they're like, if it's got him that worked up, maybe there is something to it. We'll put a few other deputies around the town. We'll just keep an eye out. It works perfectly. The evocation of Halloween itself, of the time, the period, the event, the celebration is absolutely spot on. The Horror-thon, The Thing, and Forbidden Planet. Oh my God, two of my other favourite films of all time, and having covered them a lot on the channel, so you don't have to take my word for it. You can go back and look. But Halloween stands head and shoulders above all its imitators and everything else. And when you go back to watch Halloween, do yourself a favour, divorce yourself from everything that came after. Everything! Because none of them come close to what Carpenter delivered in spades, because it was new, it was fresh. The photography, Laurie in the foreground, the shape sitting up behind her and the head turning around. Sweet Jesus Christ! At the top of the stairs and then coming down the stairs after it. Just perceived out the window, carrying a body into the house over the road, doubting the kids, and yet they have seen something really horrible taking place. The tombstone on the bed. How did he carry that? He is not Superman, he's just a man. He carried a great big tombstone up the stairs. How did he get it? From the graveyard to the house there. No one saw that. Oh, it is in the truck that he drove. There's the Great Escape, from Smith's Grove. Fantastic sequence. And then Loomis finds their car, which he took, and there's another vehicle's gone. He's killed the truck driver, and the camera pans back, doesn't it? And you see the truck driver lying there, and he's took his coveralls and all that. And there's just a ghostly face in the grass. And there's a hint of blood about it. You don't know what's happened to him, but you're like, oh my God. And of course, in the background, at the joke store shop where the mask was nicked, Loomis's head turns one way as Michael drives. Loomis is there, the car's there, and his head turns and the car goes past him. It's just genius. It's genius stuff. So many directorial flourishes, which Carpenter, because he was so new to the game, really, Dark Star, Assault on Precinct 13. That was it, really. Was it Elvis? No, that come after, didn't it? So he was, but because he was so fresh and unique and independent and not, lorded over by the suits and the powers that be, he had all that liberation to do whatever he wanted, and it worked. So worked. He then, of course, became his own pimp and just sold everything. Oh, you just. Yeah, take my movie. Give me money. Give me money. Do what you want with it now. Don't care. I created it. I've got no integrity left whatsoever. Just want to play video games. And he's going to direct Dead Space, is he? Guess again, motherfuckers. He ain't doing that. By the way, for those of you that put all that stuff on all over YouTube and all over forums, he's directing the new Dead Space movie. He said that about 10 years ago. That he wouldn't mind doing it, and then they rehashed all that and asked him again, and he said, "Well, yeah, it'd be great." No one's going to ask you to direct Dead Space, mate. No, they're not going to do that. Your last movie was The Ward, which I quite liked, but it met with complete sort of apathy from everybody else. But mate, John, you are still a god to me. But don't get behind the camera again. Don't do it. Cheers, John. You sold your soul, mate. The mighty dollar commanded you. The mighty dollar compels you. The mighty dollar compels you. Sell all of your heroes and great creations. You do this with Snake Plissken, and you and me could be history. Anyway, so what's next? Top of the list is Halloween 1978. That unquestionably, the mythos is there. The shock at the end that he's gone again. Oh God, you know, it's perfect. And then they show the shots of the house and his breathing through the mask. Oh, it permeates everything from that point onwards. You'll never forget that movie. Sadly now, it's been diluted by what followed. So, what's next in my ranking? Actually, even in the pub, I ummed over this. And many of you will know that I'm a massive fan of Halloween 2. And I thought it's Halloween 2 from 1981. Rick Rosenthal directed it, but it's Carpenter that wrote it. And they created the whole sibling thing, Laurie and Michael, a brother and sister, blah, 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 blah. I was a kid. I would be what? 81. So I wasn't 81. 81-year-old kid. In 81, what would I be? 11? Would I be 11? I was born in 69. Yeah. So yeah, 11. Call it that anyway. And I saw it. Like I saw most movies when it came out in the UK at the flicks. From the age of 7 onwards, I was living in the cinema. But I've talked about this so many times, so I'm not going to rehash all that. And I saw Halloween 2. I knew it was coming out. I had the great big starburst, fantastic. I've still got it. I think I've showed it on video actually. The big starburst centre page spread, full colour pictures, and like 4 pages after it, black and white pictures, hypodermics in eyes and all sorts of stuff. And I loved Halloween 2. Loved it. I thought the soundtrack was better, sounded better. The cinematography was just fantastic, and the colours were brighter and more vivid, and it was gorier. Even though Dick Warlock played the Shape this time around, not Nick Castle, and the face, the shape of the face changed because Warlock's got a wider face, a wider and not as long. Nick Castle from the first movie's got a face like a fucking horse, so the mask is stretched downwards. But the mask had been used so much that all the paint had come off. So anyway, you know, I've covered all the masks and all that, so let's not go into all that. So anyway, I love Halloween 2. I think it's great. So I thought, that's number 2. And then I sat down and I really thought, hang on a minute, what do I watch most out of all the Halloween movies? And it's not the original, believe it or not. I saved the original for really special occasions, like Halloween, the Halloween period especially. But I save that movie because everything that's come after it has diluted it, as I said before, inevitably. So you've got to I think I've got to prepare myself to watch that and try and forget everything that followed and get into that frame and watch that. But Halloween, the first one, I don't regard as fun to watch. It's powerful, it gets me, it frightens me, it makes me jump. I love it, but it's not fun. Halloween 2 is more fun because you can take the piss out of it as well. And I thought, well, what do I watch the most? It's these guys here. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Always loved that movie since the day it came out. Massive fan. I've covered it a lot, so I'm not going to rake over all those coals again. But I genuinely love Halloween 3. I think it's a deliciously cool idea. I think it's well presented, it looks terrific, the effects are great, the masks are wonderful. Dan O'Haley as Conal Cochran is one of the best villains that I've ever encountered. There's some of the greatest dialogue as well. I love it. And the great Tom Atkins is in there as well. And the lush, lovely, sweet and delicate Stacey Nelkin. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Great effects. Bugs and spiders and snakes. It's got everything in there. I watched that more than Halloween 78 and Halloween 2 81. So, in my ranking now, it's Halloween 78 and it's Halloween 3 is next. Who'd have thought that? Then it's Halloween 2. Right, and I've just covered Halloween 2. But Rick Rosenthal's version initially didn't have all the shock and the kills that were necessary. Carpenter went back in and spiced it with a bit more gore, a bit more violence. That in the end worked against it. critically, it was panned because, oh, you just look like one of your copycats now. You've just made, it's a body count picture. There's no real mystery to it anymore, and you've made it gory for no reason. And a lot of critics always cited the kid that's got the razor blade stuck in his gob from Duck Apple, or bobbing for apples, as some people call it, but Duck Apple. And the urban myth was that you'd put razor blades in them, and the kids were like, oh, I cut themselves to bits because your hands are tied behind your back. Well, they're not tied behind your back, because that makes it even more barbaric. And that'll be the Rob Zombie version. Your hands are tied behind your back and your head's forced into it. Just a vat of razor wire and blades. Just somewhere there's an apple. Dig deep now. You motherfucker. Yeah. And but that scene where he's just spitting out gouts of blood. That's all, because that is purely gratuitous. But it's also a nice. Well, this is one of the urban myths about Halloween. I actually think I like it being there. I do love the tits of Halloween 2. One of the nurses with the, in the hot tub, which wasn't actually hot, it was cold. Which probably helped in some ways. You know what I mean. The killings are a bit more inventive, a bit more outrageous. The hospital is completely devoid of anybody. The skeleton staff and just a little nursery of babies, and Laurie, who's basically comatose throughout it. The twist, the Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, I am your father. Search your feelings, you know it to be true. All of that, the great piss take of that. Carpenter did not want to do a sequel because his first film stood alone. So why have I got to do this? But money. It's money every time. So he thought, well, okay, I'll kill it off because I've got to give it a twist, and I'm going to kill off Michael Myers. So bingo, there you go. And I'm not going to direct it, but he was brought back in to beef it up. So, it's his story, and he's the one that put the gore and the violence into it, not Rick Rosenthal. I still think it's great. I love the way that Dick Warlock walks in this. Dick Warlock, who is Kurt Russell's stunt double throughout decades. Not anymore. They're both way too old for that kind of malarkey now. But Dick Warlock, who's also a star in Halloween 3, he's one of the android robot killers in that. And he's in many other movies, of course. He walks slowly and deliberately. He's almost walking in time with the dun, 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 which is, his normal stalking motif in the early Halloween movies. And I like it. He's in no rush. I absolutely love the way he chases. Laurie's been cracked throughout the whole thing, just doped up to hell, injured, and then finally she can find her feet and she can run away from him, but she's still injured. But she can't raise a scream when Loomis and Marion Chambers, the nurse, arrive at the hospital with the state trooper, and as they're going in, she can't find a scream until they've gone in and the door shuts, and then only then, fucking hell. Then she gets up and Michael suddenly appears, lit up by the red sort of warning light. She's like, oh, and she limps up to the door. Loomis lets her in. The state trooper's gone down one corridor, they've been down another. They let her in, they shut the door, they lock the door. Big plate glass double door. Michael Myers just walks up, goes, fuck off, just walk straight through it. Just walk straight through. I absolutely love that sequence. It's so fucking exciting. And Loomis again, well, bang, 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 another 6 shots into him. I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. He's not human. You've had all that babbling. You've had another guy gets killed. Ben Tramer gets killed. Gets wearing a Michael Myers mask, Captain Kirk mask, but the white hair on it. Gets smacked by a police cruiser, gets driven up and smacked into the back of a van, boof, flambéed. And who's the guy that identifies the teeth because he's got whole guy's barbecued? It's Deputy Hendricks from Jaws. Forgot his real name now. But he's the guy, the dental forensic scientist, the pathologist that works out it's not Michael Myers. Because it didn't have any fillings, if I remember rightly. And But then Michael Myers walks through, gets shot another 6 times, hits the deck, State Trooper wanders over, stay away from him! But he's dead. No, he's still breathing. And then suddenly he's like, I should never have left you. Laurie Strode has only met Dr. Loomis for the final 3 minutes of Halloween. And then obviously Michael's disappeared again, and Loomis has gone off and met Sheriff Brackett, and it's all panic stations everywhere, and she gets whisked off to hospital. And then suddenly at the end of this, she meets him for another fucking 3 minutes. Doesn't know Loomis at all. He's just this guy that keeps appearing. You know, every time I'm in the shit, you're there. But every time you're there, I'm in the shit. So who do I blame, really? And he says to her, I should never have left you. It's like, fuck off, who are you? Go away. And they turn around and the State Trooper's leaning over him. He's like, no, leave him. And he's like, but he's not breathing. And then Michael gets up, slits the guy's throat, and the way he just steps up into frame, and the music comes on. Oh, God, I love it. Okay, shot through both eyes. He's like that, swiping around with the scalpel. Because Laurie shot him. How many guns has Loomis got? He's got quite a few. And it's like Lee Van Cleef in it for a few dollars more. God, I couldn't say that. For a few dollars more. He's got weaponry everywhere. And this time, Michael... Boom! And to this music, Michael strides down in a wall of flame. Oh my God. Which is also a homage to one of Carpenter's favourite movies, The Thing from Another World, which played, of course, in Halloween 1, where the thing is set on fire, and it's the first time it's a full body flame out on film. Tremendous effect, wonderful. I've covered all that as well. You guys know that. And but that was a homage to that. And he hits the deck, and you see the mask, flames coming out the air, the eye holes, and the mouth of the mask, and the end of Michael Myers. I freaking love Halloween 2. In fact, now I've said that, see, I told you, these things can't be definitive, because now I want to put that in the second slot. But no, to be honest, there's a lot of dizzy spots in it as well. There's a lot of clunky bits of stupid characterization, people slipping in pools of blood and all that, like, and that crazy flashback scene. And anyway, Halloween 3, Halloween 2, 1981. What's next, Kilt-Man? Kilt-Man, did you not say it was going to be a quick video? Actually, no, I did not, so we're alright. It's Halloween 4, folks. The Return of Michael Myers. Great soundtrack by Alan Howarth this time, utilising all the old themes but creating new stuff as well. You've got the Haddonfield militia, way before Halloween Kills, going out after him, killing innocent people as well. Jesus. It's not as gory. The mask is nowhere near as good. You introduced Jamie as well in this, Jamie Lloyd, Daniel Harris. I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I love the atmosphere. I love the shock sequence where suddenly not one, but about 4 Michael Myers masked people come out on Loomis and co. And you're like, gee, because I saw that when it came out, the day it came out in the UK. And that sequence alone, I was like, I did not expect it. I was like, for a second I was spellbound. What? Is he cloned? What? Is that how he can't die? There's always another one to replace him. For a split second, I was like, I did not know what was happening. And then they all start laughing and run off, and you go, oh, but you got me there, you got me. Some rooftop stuff, a shotgun impaling, a power electrician thrown onto the lines. Yeah, I do like Halloween 4 a lot. I do think it's a strong entry, and it does follow on pretty well. Although somehow Michael Myers has regained his sight after having bullets fired through his... Good shot that, actually, you know, especially with a 4-inch revolver. Boom, boom, and takes out both eyes. But it makes a very, very distinctive image of the blood coming down the mask. And he just goes like, ah. And then he's like swiping with the scalpel. Anyway, covered that. You'll find that these little mini reviews will get smaller and smaller as the films go on, because there's less and less to discuss, really. But Halloween 4, I do find a really entertaining movie. Michael Myers is still a presence there. He's slightly burned. I love the hospital, the ambulance escape as well. Love that. And although a bit of pizza on Donald Pleasance's face does not make you think, my God, you got out of that in time, didn't you? You know, they were both being barbecued. As simple as that. But you know, if you can accept in Halloween 2018 that a 61-year-old man can have his fingers blown off and be shot and run over and blah 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 blah, and still get up and do stuff, then you can accept that. The whole franchise is built on absolute illogicality. It doesn't work at all. None of it works. Apart from the first movie, none of it works. There's absolutely zero consistency. The more they try to connect things up and to explain things, the worse it gets. They box themselves into corners, all the writers and the makers continually screw things up. But it's not really their fault. And the reason for that is, if you compare this to, say, Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees is the most simplistic killer of all time. Yeah, the original is his mum in Friday the 13th, part 1. His mother's the killer. Great twist. Then he comes up. How the hell? Who? His mother died. Did you summon him up? And he what? It doesn't make any fucking sense. But from that point onwards, from Friday the 13th part 2 onwards, it doesn't matter. He is another bogeyman. He's Jason Voorhees. He's unstoppable. Whatever you do, he's gonna come back. You can send him into fucking space. You can fry him, blow him up, run him over, shoot him a million times, cut his fucking head. He will come back again and again and again. But you don't question it. The reason why you question Michael is because there was no reason. It's vengeance for Jason Voorhees. Hates all camp counselors and teenagers that shag. You know, so that's it. That's basically it. Michael Myers, you see him as a kid. You don't understand why he did what he did. And then he's just evil. You've got a mad psychologist, doctor, who's told you he's mad, and remember his word for it. But like, what the hell? And he can't die. Wow, Jesus! You want to know? So the dilemma that makers of sequels of Halloween have always got is that we can't just show him as a mindless Jason Voorhees just going about butchering people. People would enjoy it, but people demand more of Michael Myers. So that's the horrible rock and a hard place dilemma and paradox that makers of Halloween movies find themselves in, and they are trapped in that little box, that cube. So people want answers. Well, we're going to give them answers. We're going to provide a backstory, an explanation, or this and that. It doesn't work. It's not worked on in any of the further movies where they've tried to explore it. It doesn't work at all. It just flounders completely. So, anyway, Halloween 4 I really, really do enjoy. It has atmosphere in abundance and I have a great time with it. What's next then? Well, in all this excitement, I've forgotten myself. Well, it is a switch up, mate, because I've put down here, this is what I must have wrote in the pub, Halloween 2018. You know what? You've got to remember, folks, that there's a massive leap downwards in quality from Halloween 78, Halloween 3, Halloween 2, and Halloween 4 to what comes next. Every other entry is several leagues below those in entertainment, in quality, in soundtrack, in everything, in Michael Myers' personality, in every single department. But what I will say is Halloween 2018, although a relentless disappointment for me when it first came out, after really looking forward to it, I hated the story with a vengeance. I hated Sartain. That twist is garbage, fucking garbage. Actually, I do like the soundtrack though. I love the soundtrack to it. The kills are, they're reasonably good. But the reason why it's up there is because, as inept as that story is, and as many stupid, cack-handed little twists and turns that it takes, it's a competently made film. I don't think David Gordon Green's a good director of horror movies. It's got not much suspense to it, but it's nice to look at, and I can watch the whole movie, and there's bits that I like. Michael is still playing games with his victims. the whole, the torched policeman's head and all that, like a jack-o'-lantern. The pumpkin in the, I'm going to say a bird bath then. The fish tank, the aquarium. What else does he do? What else? Oh, the teeth from the mechanic over the top of the toilet door. Stuff like that. He's playing tricks. This is what every other film seems to forget, that he's a trickster. Look at Halloween, the original one, where he kills Bob and then comes up the stairs, and he's got the sheet all over him, and he's got Bob's glasses on as well, like, and just stands there. See anything you like, Bob? Like. Then she puts them back away. Damn it! But so where's my beer? No, where's my beer? Boy, you weird. It's genius. It's genius because I know I've flitted back to that, but again, it's the old Hitchcock thing. You show people sitting at a table having a dinner. Well, that's nothing. But if you show them there's a bomb under that table, and they don't know it, you've created suspense. You tell someone like, "Oh, there's a don't go in that room." Well, why not? Oh, just don't go in it. There's nothing in there. But if you tell them, "Oh, there's a dead body in that room," suddenly that room becomes a focal point of tension and suspense. And this is what Carpenter did. We know that that's not Bob standing there, but she doesn't. And it's just genius. That is genius. But really no other movie captured any of that. So 2018, I think, is it's competently made. It's a slickly made movie. It does its best to try to capture the look and style and camera work of the original. So I applaud all of that, but I just don't think it's a particularly good story. I think it's a fucking awful story. And I despised Laurie Strode in it. This is where you're going to notice all this now. The Laurie Strode thing. Love it in the first movie. Really cannot stand it in anything else. Well, hang on. That, I'm going to have to put an addendum to that because, right. So Halloween 2018, I did enjoy it at the time, but with immense reservations. And as the years have gone on, I've discovered that it's infinitely better than what followed. Which isn't saying a great deal. But anyway, so that's 2018. This is bizarre because I've put Halloween Ends next. I told you, guys, this is not definitive. But I like Halloween Ends. I don't think it's a good film, but I think I enjoyed it way more than I expected to. And having just said Laurie Strode, I fucking hate Laurie Strode. In Halloween Ends, I actually didn't mind her because she was a warmer, more three-dimensional character. But it's the film's in the wrong place. Her character should have been the first incarnation of the new trilogy, and then you should have got the one from 2018 should have been the middle movie, and then the one from the middle Halloween Kills should have been the one from the end. Oh, whatever, I don't know. But it's back to front. It's all over the show. Her characterization is complete bullshit. She's a paranoid prepper for World War III. 40 years since the killing of a couple of mates. Never got over it. It's only preposterous when you put it in perspective. Every reality would be different. You might never get over the loss of your friends, of course, but you're putting this into a slasher franchise where we've seen umpteen people get killed, and we live in a world where people go into high schools and murder dozens of people. And some people, big skyscrapers come crashing down, thousands die. We are not shocked by a double, triple murder. So what? You just go back to your spaghetti bolognese, or in my case, a big spoon. But so she's the big prepper in that one, and then she's useless throughout all the Halloween Kills. But Halloween Kills ends with her with a knife, and just lost my daughter. I'm coming for you, Michael. I'm gonna fuck you up now, whatever she says, And then you get Halloween Ends, where she's actually doesn't care about Halloween. She's enjoying Halloween. It's 4 years later. Half of the town has been killed. Her daughter's been killed. And now she's hey, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I love Halloween. We're making pumpkin pie. Yeah. I'll get my granddaughter shacked up with that weirdo, that kid that, killed another kid. You just get together, you'll be fine. It's bullshit, folks. It's bullshit. But I do enjoy Halloween Ends as a film, sort of divorced. Sort of like, you imagine like those alternate universe comic books where Batman is a vampire, Batman fights Dracula, you know, all those alternates, or the what ifs that Marvel did as well. It's like an alternate what if of Michael Myers. Michael Myers is just like, you know, oh, I'll make an entry into this, but it's actually Corey Cunningham's movie. But Corey Cunningham's movie is actually pretty good. I do enjoy it. I like him as a character. I like the actor playing him. I like Laurie Strode in this. The kills are good. The kills are pretty good. The tongue sniffing is fantastic. Going round on the turntable on the record is great, because this guy, the DJ, was using his mouth to piss everybody off and take the piss out of Michael Myers. Just blah 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 blah. So he gets his fucking tongue snipped off. Douche. There you go. What can you say about that then? And the whole town can hear this record jumping, because I liked that a lot. The final fight between Laurie and Michael is really bone crunching and uber violent. Yes, it's short, and the film is not the payoff you want from the entire 13 movie franchise. It's not the big payoff that you want from it. Of course it isn't. As I just said, the film works better as a Corey Cunningham movie, with Michael making a guest appearance. So they shouldn't have ended it, really. If you're gonna, you should have ended it with the death of Corey Cunningham, but Michael Myers still goes on. Or you end it with the death of Michael Myers, but Corey Cunningham goes on. Not the death of the two of them, and then what happens? And you've got this whole thought transference thing. Are we led to believe now that, look, Jamie Lee Curtis said, that's it for me, I'm not coming back to it anymore, but the mask is still in their house. The camera pans around in all the rooms in a bit of a pastiche of what's happened in Halloween, the end of Halloween. And, you know, when Michael Myers had his hand around their throat, or what's left of his hand around their throat, she's going, do it, do it. She's almost killed him, he's going to kill her. And they had the big thought transference thing, all the flashbacks to their previous meetings. And you think, oh, has he passed the evil on to her? But if Jamie Lee's not coming back, then no. Who knows though? Halloween will not die. Halloween will not end. It will go on. Sadly, this bottle of whiskey will not go on and on and on. But, you know, we'll try and make it last. But I do enjoy Halloween Ends. So it's there because it's a competently made movie. Story might be bollocks. Some of the dialogue might be bollocks, but it's a competently made film and I can enjoy watching it. So it's there. What's next? Rob Zombie's Halloween. Right, now, see again, I like Rob Zombie's Halloween. I like it quite a lot. Maybe I should have bumped it up, although that would not have felt right to me to bump that up further up the ranking. I said you shouldn't explain too much of Michael Myers. What did he go and do? He gave everything away about Michael Myers. The trailer trash background, the abusive, dysfunctional family unit he's come from, the bullying he takes, and then he turns the tables, goes mad, and that's it. But in so doing, if you're going to reboot it, because that's what they did, Rob Zombie was actually doing a remake. He wasn't doing a sequel, he was doing a remake, reboot of Halloween. Love it or loathe it, he achieved exactly that. He did it. He told the story, but he told it in a different way, and he gave a hell of a lot more. So the whole film is different. You've only got the last half hour of it is a remake, really, of Halloween. All the rest of it is a huge, foul-mouthed and very naughty sort of sideline adventure for the Michael Myers, the younger years. How is it that a young, chubby-faced little bastard gets incarcerated into a sanitarium, and scans, 12 years later, whatever it is, like, he's a fucking big, he's like 12 feet tall and about fucking 400 pounds of sheer muscle, and wrestler, actor, stuntman, Tyler Mane. How did he do that? How did he do that? Because he's supernatural. No, the thing about the Rob Zombie movies, he's not supernatural. He's definitely a man, but a very mixed up, fucked up person completely, and the product of an abusive upbringing, and with a penchant for stabbing people to bits and wearing a mask. The mask fascination and the morbid curiosity that he has with death comes across really well. I actually do enjoy Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's very violent, it's very gory, it's nasty, and it's genuinely scary. I find him a very intimidating presence. Just storming down corridors and like people trying to stop him, and he's just fucking crunching people up, coming through doors and just relentlessly marching after people. The previous Michael Myers have all been, they're not statuesque, they're not huge hulking brutes. They're very strong, but you don't view them as an intimidating figure. It's not like Jason Voorhees standing there or Tyler Mane standing there. It's just a man in the shape of a man, shall we say. But you don't see, oh my god! But Tyler Mane standing there with a mask on and a fucking boiler suit. You're like, fuck that, I'm out of here. But it does make a lot of gaffes as well. It's an unpleasant film to sit through because of the dialogue is so horrible and the characters are all unlikable. Sam Loomis, oh god, what's his name? Oh, from Clockwork Orange. Oh, not David McCallum. Oh no, what's his name? I'm from Blue Thunder and Cat People. I can see his face. Just can't think of his name, but you know what I mean. It'll come to me. I think he's great as Sam Loomis. I think he's great, and as I say, the film builds up a lot of tension, a lot of fear, but it's a more. There's no fun to that movie. It's definitely scarier, harder, much coarser version. But that's maybe what you needed, not what people wanted, but it's what this franchise needed. Although no one else seems to agree with that. But anyway, so that was Rob Zombie's Halloween. I do enjoy it. I like it a lot. I don't particularly enjoy it, but there you go. So that was next. Oh, then we get Halloween H2. Let's go back to something nice and quaint. And this was the punchy, sharp, super slick, very short. It's not Kevin Williamson. He wrote it, and then it got changed drastically. And of course, he had done Scream, and this was Halloween meets Scream, and Scream was Kevin Williams's and Wes Craven's homage to Halloween. And Scream the film has its moments, but I just can't stand the killers. I just can't stand all the references. It's just too. I love Wes Craven. I've loved so much of Wes Craven's stuff, but the Scream franchise, with moments in each one, which have been great, and just a nice idea, but the execution and it's just so overblown, and you're just drowning in all of the pop culture references and the self-awareness, and it just does my head in. Well, H2O sort of patched into that, although Williams' screenplay was rewritten to the point where his name was taken off as writer, and just because I think he got given the producer's credit for it, because his basic idea was still there. And we're back to Laurie, and the first two movies are canon again because they are brother and sister. And he kills in the opening. He kills Marion Chambers, the nurse. You hear a monologue from Donald Pleasence, which is quite nice, a ghostly monologue, opening narration from Loomis, and you see his room with all the bits and bobs, all his crime scene pictures and all his reports and dossiers on Michael Myers. That's great. You've got Josh Hartnett in there. You've got LL Cool J, who, a bit like in Deep Blue Sea, where the shark's meant to kill him, but no, he's too nice a character to have him survive. He gets chomped by a 30-foot-long Mako shark and then still managed to survive, having been dragged underwater and being chomped. In this, he gets shot in the head, and then they were, oh no, he's too nice to kill, so we'll bring him back, the bullet just grazed him. Oh, fuck off. But Michael looks goofy as fuck in this movie. Looks bloody awful. The amount of masks, there's one of them over there, somewhere there. The amount of masks they went through, including the CG one, Jesus Christ. He looks a mess with fucking stupid fright wig hair on it. And it's filmed flat, dead flat, and very bad. And from the ground looking up, Michael, it just looks stupid. The kills aren't great at all. There's not enough of them, for one thing. But you do have a good scrap, a good final sort of showdown between Laurie and Michael. And when she drives off with his body in the back of the ambulance, and you see, I actually do like this because she knows he's going to come back again. You know, he's been, what's he been? He's been stabbed and beaten and kicked over the balcony and smashed his back on is it a piano? Can't remember now. He hits something down below, and but she hijacks the ambulance, knowing he's going to come back, speeds away from the little school that they're at, and when you see him sort of waking up in the back of the air, and she sees it, and he's about to come for it, slams the brakes on, whoosh, straight through the windscreen, and then she plows into him. The two of them go over the fucking thing, over the ridge, and he gets pinned by the truck, and she's got the axe. But you see him, you know, it's like, that's a great moment, that, because it really, you just don't, what is he? And he's reaching out for her. Then she looks into his eyes, and you see his eyes, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes, and then goes, "Whoa, fuck off," and takes his head off with an axe. And then we find out in Halloween 5 that wasn't actually him. That was a paramedic that she asked. You know what? Fuck off. But yeah, H2O is it's slick, it's well made, but you don't care about the characters. You don't really care about Laurie, to be honest. She's paranoid about, you know, him coming back and all that. It's you can see how all these sequels bled into the new trilogy. Anyway, that's H2O. Beyond that, I really can't say much about it. It just doesn't do nothing for me. And then we get Halloween 5. Oh, Jesus. Halloween 5. What a dreck fest this is. The Danielle Harris, Jamie saga continues. And after being shot to bits and falling down a well in the Halloween 4, he goes down the stream, they can't find the body. And the mysterious cave dweller, the working title for Halloween Ends, brings him in, and for a year, helps him recover, looks after him, brings him back. And then for all his troubles, Michael kills him and then goes on the rampage again. Now, the thing about this movie, and I forget who directed it, but again, the script went through a lot of rewrites and a lot of cuts as well. I've got a feeling that if the full version of this movie came out, I'd be a real big fan of it. Because in the full version, he takes out an entire SWAT team. You imagine the opening of Halloween Kills, where he takes out the fire departments, the emergency crew. Think of that, only these guys are armed with guns. He impales them, like in Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 4. He impales someone on a shotgun. He blows people away. He sides them in two. He does all sorts with his SWAT team. He takes out dozens of coppers in the full version of Halloween 5. None of that's in this movie. None of that. It all got chopped, cut out. Some of it was never filmed. Some of it was filmed and then removed. Oh, we can't have him killing 20 cops. Let's just have him killing 2 deputies, and one of them will be off screen, and we'll hear it over a walkie-talkie. Are you kidding me? The film had issues with the MPAA as well, so that was why a lot of this was gone. But wouldn't you have killed to see all of that? Michael Myers in full action. Now, and that's a good couple of decades before Halloween Kills. So yeah, you imagine that. That's an amazing sort of action fest which you would have seen. But beyond that, the film has literally nothing to offer. Although I do like the other mask that Michael wears, the Brute mask, which I've not got. I've got all the other masks, I've not got that mask actually. And he wears that, and he's driving a date to the party. Well, it's not. Well, obviously the date doesn't think that's Michael Myers in that mask. They think they know who it is. And you've got a few other implements are used, garden tools are used as murder weapons. But the film is not gory. It's as simple as that. Loomis again is back. Has a sort of cage net which he drops on Michael Myers, and then tranquilizes him and beats the shit out of him with a 2x4 fucking plank of wood. Boof, 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 and boof some more. And then he gets whisked off to a police station. And then you get that really bizarre The Man in Black finale, where everyone's been killed, all the cops have been killed, including Sheriff Meeker, and Michael's escaped. You know. But who did that? Who's the mysterious Man in Black? Oh, God. Oh, yeah, because Halloween 6 is next. The Cult of Thorn. Damien's a pawn. Damien's part of a great big conspiracy. Doctors and Satan. Well, it depends which version you watch. 2 versions of this. You've got the theatrical cut and you've got the producer's cut. Don't fall for anyone saying that the producer's cut's better. It fucking well isn't. It isn't. You've got Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd in his first acting. I think it's his first movie. I think it is. Is it Joe Chappelle that made this? Don Chappelle? Something like that. The film's crap, whichever version you watch. It's fucking awful. Daniel Harris, well, the Jamie character is completely wasted in it. Raped. Michael Myers rapes her. It's his fucking niece. It's all part of the Cult of Thorn. And they've got the little tattoos on them, the little runic symbols. Paul Rudd's Tommy Doyle. An older Tommy Doyle. Linkage. Badly. And they want his son. Is it his son? Do you know what? There's so much of either version of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, that I cannot remember. And I've seen the 2 versions, and the 2 differences, they're kind of blurred into one. But even if you put all the best bits of the producer's cut with the best bits of the theatrical cut, you still don't get a good movie. In fact, it's just shit. It's shit. But at least in the theatrical cut, you get a body count at the end in Smith's Grove, where they're trying to do this ritual. Oh, fuck, do you know, I can't remember. And you've got all like Reanimator style fucking serum pumping into people, and God, it doesn't make any sense at all. Sadly, Donald Pleasance, but the 2 are synonymous. Donald Pleasance died whilst making this movie, and he was given short thrift anyway in the script. So and he does look frail and old. I think he died just after it, but they couldn't bring him back for any more sort of extended scenes or anything like that to reshoot anything. And it's a waste of his talents, it really is. I mean, God love the guy for coming back and honouring the character that he's been playing so well since 1978. But it's not a good swan song at all. Curse of Michael Myers, no, it's piss poor. So what's after that then? Well, Halloween. There's worse to come, believe it or not. Halloween Kills. I cannot stand this movie. You'd think I'd love it because it is just a killfest body count picture for Michael Myers. Just on the rampage, slicing and dicing, slashing and gashing everybody. Head crushing, eye splitting, stab, 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 stab. Impaling and doing all sorts. But it's boring. It's characterless. The dialogue is absolute rank, and I despise it. Carpenter's score is actually it's not bad, but it's not great either. All the best bits of the music is accompany scenes which are not the best scenes. So I feel displaced by the music whilst watching this movie. And by the way, I don't watch this movie. I've seen it a couple of times and I can't stand it. The gore is good. But the acting is atrocious. The dialogue is fucking awful. The story is preposterous. You've got on the screens, the TV screens in the bar, where they're having their annual, the survivors. The survivors of something that happened fucking 40 years ago. Where, how many things have happened in any small town since then? Fuck off, Oh, but we get together, and there's been a prison bus crash, and they showed a picture of the 2 that haven't been found. One's Michael Myers, and one's the poor little fucking guy that they go after. So hang on, you people that were so traumatized by this killer 40 years ago, who's been incarcerated, who got arrested, apparently, shortly after that, and would have been unmasked, and his picture would be everywhere. And, you know, if you're that into it and that concerned, you'd be keeping tabs on it. You'd know what he looks like. And they go after the other one. And it's on the fucking screen as well. They're named. It's fucking stupid. Stupid. And he chased the poor guy at the top of the fucking hospital. Oh, God, it's diabolical. Oh, and by the way, Hawkins, who got stabbed in the neck and then run over by all the wheels of that car ran him over. So his body's crunched up, but he's just got a bit of a neck problem. That's all it is. And he manages in the hospital bed opposite Laurie. He wasn't after you, because I could have killed him, but I killed my policeman buddy. Oh, fuck off. It is absolutely diabolical. This movie is so bad, it should be at the end of the list. And yet it isn't, because there is worse to come. I would watch Halloween Kills again for the kills. I can't even stand the title. This film should be called Halloween Sucks. Sucks ass. It's so fucking bad. I hate it. I'm getting angry now. I fucking despise it. And I'm getting rid of this bit of hair, which is doing its own. Look at that. It's doing its own thing. Oh well, we'll leave it down. What comes next then? Can't be arsed talking anymore about Halloween Kills. And yet there is worse to come. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, this is difficult because I admire this film for its complete outrage, that it just goes way beyond what you expect. But there's so much to like about it. The opening, which is Halloween 2, a remake of Halloween 2, is fucking horrible. And it's really unnerving. And you're like, oh, I can't take much more of this. It's only a fucking dream. Oh, it's just a dream. Oh, damn it. This would be better if that wasn't a dream. Genuinely, this would be better. You've got some head stomping. You've got Michael Myers becomes a hobo and crosses country with literally he's not wearing a mask throughout a lot of it. Then he wears the shreds of a mask. Finds his mum, and his mum's got a fucking dream horse. This white stallion, this celestial horse. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He just wants his mum. And but what is his name from who plays Loomis in this and the Rob Zombie ones? Alex from Clockwork Orange. You're all saying it. Fuck this. I'm gonna find his name. It's doing my head in now. I cannot believe that I have forgotten his fucking name. Oh God, where is he? I can't believe I forgot his name, and it's really pissing me off now. I've got a book here, but it should be in, and I can't find his name. Oh, this hurts. And now I can't even turn the page over. Oh my. I don't fucking care now. I don't care. But anyway, Loomis has now exploited the whole thing. I like that angle. He's now writing books and memoirs about this, about the Michael Myers case. It's pissing all over the victims and all of that. But it's what you do, and I think it's a nice angle. I like the fact that the characters do something different. It isn't just your stalk and slash. It does develop into a lot of that. But you've got Brad Dourif as Sheriff Brackett. Oh my God, some acting powerhouse stuff. Finding his daughter's body. And the wailing, shrieking pain. God, it's beyond belief. He's so good. But the film is so bad. And yet there's so much that's of value and so much that's different and clever. It's just that, again, with Rob Zombie's very unsubtle hand at the helm, it becomes it's earthy, it's guttural, it's nasty, it's trailer trash again. And everyone always says this, his films it's all like white trash and all this kind of trailer talk. It is. we're not wrong for saying it all the time and condemning it, because that's his style. Apart from the monsters, that's his fucking style, and it's a bloody annoying one. It can work in certain movies, Three from Hell and all that, Devil's Rejects, that's fine. But you brought that to Halloween when you meant to be a massive lover of Halloween. You had a great idea, a great concept for redoing the first one, which I think largely works, except for the nasty elements, the vocally nasty and the bad characters that are in it. You could have made it more palatable, and it would have been more impactful for us if you'd done it that way. And then with Halloween 2, you go completely off the rails. You go into spectral fantasy land, and no one has a fucking clue where you're going with it. Least of all you. But I have to always admire it for trying something different, something that's way out there, that is not what we've seen before. So, Halloween 2. That's the penultimate one. So you guys have already guessed what the worst one is. And in many ways, it probably shouldn't be, because Halloween Resurrection brings back Laurie, although kills her off very quickly. And then again, just don't bring her back. Don't do it. Don't need Laurie. After Halloween 2 and Halloween H2O, you don't need Laurie. You don't want Laurie. None of us want Laurie at all. And Michael Myers doesn't fucking want Laurie. That's the whole bloody thing. He doesn't fucking care about Laurie Strode. Stop making Laurie Strode part of these fucking stories. But yeah, Resurrection. Busta Rhymes. Dear God Almighty. It's a bit of found footage. It kind of joined in with the found footage trend at that time. Although there's not. It doesn't fall into that category. There's just there's bits which are filmed through cameras. Michael Myers' mask. Actually, I don't mind the mask in this. It does look different. It looks way different. It's a definite face. It's not blank anymore. There's a definite character to that face, which you may like, you may not like. I just think it's different enough to go, yeah, that's interesting. The kills are not that outrageous at all. Busta Rhymes trying to fuck you up, motherfucker, and off. So you had LL Cool J in H2O. So what did they go and do? They bring Busta Rhymes into this. It's a shoddy film. The characters are cheap, they're disposable, they are fluff. Michael Myers doesn't really do a great deal. In fact, there's a lot of this I cannot remember, because it's so just meh, so bland, bloodlessly bland, and that's a bad thing to be for a Michael Myers entry in a long-running stalker / franchise. It's appalling. The score is bad as well. Oh my god, I should have mentioned the score for H2O by John Ottman. Oh dear Christ almighty, how bad was that? He tried to do... John Ottman's a good composer, a lot of stuff I like. And he's a great editor on movies as well. But sadly, his score for Halloween H2O was piss poor. His orchestral version of the main theme, trying to give it a semblance of elegance and dignity. No, just do the score. Don't do it in the... it was just god awful. But yeah, Resurrection by far is the worst. It's just such disposable, forgettable idiocy. You don't need it, you don't want it. It doesn't do anything for the franchise in general. It doesn't add anything. Well, it doesn't subtract anything either. But yeah, that's the worst. So my ranking for the Halloween movies, which I'm sure I'm going to change it now in the rundown. Halloween 78, of course. Halloween 3, yeah, I'm sticking with that. Halloween 2, from 81. Halloween 4, yeah, I'm sticking with that. I always knew the first 4 in my lineup would be the first 4 movies. Just what was the order going to be, the middle ones. Halloween 2018, I may swap that actually for Rob Zombie's Halloween. So I've done Halloween 2018 next, then Halloween Ends, then Rob Zombie's Halloween, because I do admire that movie a lot, and it's hard, it's brutal, it's scary. It genuinely returns Michael Myers to being a scary bloody thing coming at you. H2O. Halloween 5. Halloween 5's there because the movie that we get is bad. There's some really over the top acting as well. Oh my god, Rachel's mate. Jesus Christ. I despise it. Sexy as fuck, but despise it. Oh god. I hate it because there's so much taken out of it. That killing of a SWAT team and taking out he takes out a rooftop sniper as well. None of that's in the movie now. None. The massacre by the man in black in the police station. You saw that. Well, you meant to see that. None of it's all gone. So what could have been? Then Halloween 6, whichever version, producer's cut, theatrical cut, part of shite. Halloween Kills, shite. He could have killed. It could have been another hour of pure, the most gruesome Terrifier 2 style kills. But it wouldn't have made one bit of difference. It was overkill and it was boring. Oh, no tension, no suspense, just kill, kill, kill. Little John and Big John, fuck off. It's a fucking shitfest. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 goes way too far in a completely avant-garde direction. The piles on the nasty characters and the sleaze and just there's absolutely no fun involved in watching that movie. It's grisly, it's grisly, and it's gnarly, and it's just you feel dirty and unclean, which is clearly what he wanted you to feel. So it works in that respect. But I still like the opening in the hospital, and the head stomping is really good. Which of course they riffed on that with Halloween 2018. And in fact, in Halloween 5, there's meant to be a head stomping as well, which I think that got removed. And then you get Halloween Resurrection, which resurrect this, it's so bad. The thing is, it's just like a TV movie with a few killings in it. It's so banal and flat and boring, and you just hate everybody. It's a complete and utter waste of time. They must have known that even making it. This is hardly any fun. Busta Rhymes apparently took over a lot of it and got his dialogue changed. There wasn't enough motherfuckers in there. But at least, having said that, when he says motherfucker and swears, it's more palatable than when anyone in a Rob Zombie movie says it. Because that's just really... And he's using better actors as well. So get on that. That doesn't make any sense at all. Cheers, y'all. So that was it. That's my rundown. Folks, feel free to comment below. Let me know what your Halloween ranking may be. It'll be different than mine. Of course it is. We're all individuals and we can all get along, unless we're pure white trailer trash and then you're battling everybody, But it'll be interesting to see, what your listing would be. But I don't think anyone is going to come out and say that Halloween 78 is not number one. It is a masterpiece, and without it, we wouldn't be doing these videos. Hey! And we wouldn't be talking about endless remakes and the franchise going on. And then is he supernatural or is he just a man? God, don't get me started on this shit again. Folks, I have been over Shelby Kilt-Man, and that's it now. I'm Halloweened out as far as the movies are concerned. That's it. We're going to move on to other stuff now. And hey, onwards and upwards. So please, in the meantime, in this ever festively knife slashing in between time, please keep it Kiltic, keep it Celtic. And I'm going to see you all. Boom! Boom! Laters! It's alright for you guys. You just watch something else now. I've got to tidy all this shit away.